Hello! We are at nature community, Ecovillage in Bavaria. We bought a former vacation village. We have lots of space for bringing people together. We are a vegan community, bring people together again and to explore how we can live in this diversity peacefully and create trust. It's silent. I go 5 minutes out here and I'm alone in the forest. And at the same time, I can do everything I want, like dancing, connecting with people, doing projects with people. So we have about 10 different rooms for seminars. Living in eco-villages, it's very challenging, but it increases the intensity of life.
Imagine a world in harmony with nature, with others, and with ourselves. A world where people are nourished by diversity and beauty. Do you believe it can exist? Utopia, discovering dreams that are reality.
Hello, my name is Gerhard. We are at nature community, Ecovillage in Bavaria, very close to the former Iron Curtain, 5 kilometers to Czech Republic. Nature community is like ecovillage projects. We are part of the global ecovillage network. We are quite diverse, but one part is like to examine how a more sustainable lifestyle in many ways can be possible. We bought a former vacation village. We have lots of space for bringing people together. So we are hosting big events here. So partly we're living here and partly, which is also our main source of income, we're hosting events which have to do something, not like BMW or like normal business stuff, but we attract people and seminars who have something to do with our topics. We are a vegan community. Tourism was quite high in the 70s and 80s, and then after the Iron Curtain broke down, tourism went down in this area, and it was not possible to maintain the place anymore. So it was for sale, and so we took it. It was back in 2016. We're about 65 people right now, with a bit space to grow. I think one vision is like how people can step out of isolation. In Germany, we have a tendency that people are more and more alone, that they live their lives independently. So our adventure is to bring people together again and to explore how we can live in this diversity peacefully and create trust. When we took over the place, many buildings were with electric heating, which is not sustainable at all, not ecological at all. And so we transformed that. We're using solar collectors to produce heat. We have our own source of water, which is quite important. And from the ecologically, we have like old buildings, which were not built ecologically. And we have 10,000 square meters of building. And step by step, we are transforming them into something more beautiful. We're starting a little bit with permaculture and gardening, but not on a big scale yet. This is a map of almost entire community. This is the hotel, the guest house we're using for external guests. In this building we can host between 80 and 150 people. Then we have the restaurant area. We are now below the restaurant area here in the biggest event hall. And then we have a swimming pool. Yes, we have a swimming pool and a wellness area, and then we have like two buildings, Haus Florian and Haus Georg, where we live as a community. And we have 22 bungalows here up the hill. We have a stage here, open air stage, where former members of the community who had a yoga school with an outside wooden platform, and they brought this into the community, this wooden floor. And then there was a carpenter, a very skilled carpenter, a creative one, and we were about to do a big outdoor festival. And then there came the idea, why shouldn't we not cover this wooden floor and make something nice out of it? And there was no sketch, no plan. These guys just started, and then suddenly this amazing structure appeared. And we transformed the place completely. We had a dark ceiling. We had like heavy wood construction lamps made of old wheels, chariot wheels, and like very, very dark. So we put a nice wooden floor, made a floor heating, yeah. And people who are working with making body work, yeah, like dancing, moving even on the floor, like contact improvisation or any kind of body work, or people who do dancing, they love the place. Yeah. I mean, maybe you know the rules of Global Ecovillage network, yeah, that communities who have a hierarchical structure, or like where all the property is in hand of one of a few people are not allowed to this network. So we are legally, we are an association. Like people, after they proved to join the community, which takes about 1.5 years. So with decisions to be part of the community, then we are all shareholders of the association, and we own. We have different numbers of shares, but no matter how much money you have in there, everybody has one vote. So this is our legal structure, and apart from that, we have like we're starting with sociocracy, like different parts, like guest house and events and building department and kitchen and so on. Well, some people who are in normal life, they say, oh, it doesn't work. Yeah, this kind of lifestyle doesn't work, and I say, okay, I want to prove that it does work. I'm 56 years old. In my late 40s, I thought, okay, shall I continue this until I'm retired, or shall I try really something new? It makes for me more sense to explore a more sustainable lifestyle, to step out of consuming a lot, to see how can we consume less and like to consume from energy and products so that we can live in harmony with planet Earth. It is more meaningful. And apart from that, it's also nicer to be together with people and to connect with like-minded people. So we have lots of people who explore with feelings and movements and like that way. But we also have groups like the Pioneers of Change, people who are in some ways exploring the cultural and economical and the change which is necessary in the world. It's a stage for outdoor. So if we have festivals, like next week we are going to have the Sacred Space Festival. There's going to be musicians and on the stage, open air. I wanted to show you this wall painting. This existed before, but in a different way. So this is like, for me, it's a good symbol of our transformation. This is a place where we eat. We have communal meals together 3 times a day, and we have a buffet. We have monthly expenses which are really high, like between 20 and 45,000 euros a month to maintain the whole thing. And like 2/3 of it we can get through our event business. So this is our income, and this is like our common income. And the rest of it we like pay rents and contribution for food. And some people have internal jobs, some people work outside or do online business or stuff like this, yeah, to contribute. We have the principle that we are vegan in our kitchen. It's 100% vegan, and in our community places it's also 100% vegan. We have our own source water, so we can fill it from natural resources, which is ecologically acceptable, yeah, not to waste so much water. And we just use it in the summer months. We have thermal solar collectors, and we don't heat it from other sources. Just if we have a surplus of solar energy, then it goes into the swimming pool. These places exist, and it's good to not to tear them down and build something new. So like reduce, reuse, recycle. Yeah, so better than build something new is to use the existing thing it in a more sustainable way. It would be an example for millions of other projects alike. Every Saturday we come together here, and it's like a good place to not just to work together or discuss or something. Yeah, it's like a gift we have here. So yeah, and we're trying to make it as sustainable as possible with solar heating and stuff like this. And but it's also good to use such an environment to relax together. This is the guest house, and the parking place is to the right. So we have about 10 different rooms for seminars. For me, it's like important. If I live in a community, it's quite a lot to be always with so many people together. Sometimes I just need my private space to exhale, because if it's too much input all the time, I cannot deal with it. We come from a very individualized society, and we don't know how it is to live as a tribe. Maybe our ancestors, like 2000 years before, they knew it, and we have to relearn it. I think the most important thing is to keep coming together. I mean, you cannot avoid all the issues and traumas and emotional difficult things coming up. And the remedy is to keep coming together and to show yourself, to make yourself transparent. And if you feel the others and hear from the others, then you can go through things. These are copper tubes. There will be warm water running through it, and then you have a nice heat through the walls. In Munich, it's so expensive and so crowded, and here in these abandoned rural areas, prices are lower. So from rent from our property, especially when we are still a bit more people, when we reach our full amount of people, then the individual share that we need to earn really is lower. And if we share things, like have a communal kitchen for everybody, then we can cook much more economically.
Hi, my name is Ben. This is a project that we built together here with around 3 people. We use quite exotic material. We use seagrass insulation in the bottom parts. And this is the kitchen cupboard. Then here's cupboard for clothes. This will be the bed. There's a table that is already made. You can pull under the bed. On the left and the right you have like storage places. And up here is the bed, yes.
I always wanted to live closer to nature in a rural area, but I was afraid that there are no possibilities of things I like to do, like not like-minded people. And this is a combination. I'm in beautiful nature. It's silent. I go 5 minutes out here, and I'm alone in the forest. And at the same time, I can do everything I want, like dancing, connecting with people, doing projects with people. So I meet like-minded people to do at least the same possibilities I had in a big town, but like condensed. It's always a big surprise. Life is less predictable. Living in eco-villages, it's very challenging, but it increases the intensity of life. I can live more diversity, and I get more input, which questions my patterns of thought and living, which is sometimes very uncomfortable, but it makes life more colorful and intense. In 2014, after I went to Italy and did my vision quest, and I went on a trip around the world for almost 2 years, and with the openness to stay anywhere in the world, and I learned a lot. I met a lot of eco-villages in many continents. This is like the original setup. They're all alike, but this is how they looked originally. We have construction professionals, we have the knowledge, and we have the skills. So sometimes we like people who want to join us for a few weeks to give us a hand. This is colorful, but we have all the expertise here. So that's a big advantage. So this is a nice place where we could gather in nature. In summer, if it's good weather, to sit there around the fire and connect. In 2017, I initiated also brought about 500 people from 50 different nations here, young people mostly. I mean, young people, if you are between 18 and 30, you can come through the European Solidarity Corps program. If you are interested to join the community, we have a program that you can join our community for 4 weeks, and we don't have it so separate, like this are the guests and this is community, but it's like we have a great power to integrate people. We invite you to live 4 weeks with us and to work with us, to live with us, to celebrate with us, enjoy our life, and then it's a door in joining the community. This is also an example of a room which we reconstructed completely, and this is one of our main community meeting places also, where we gather and dance, and we have a projector where we do movies once a week. Polyvagal circle. It's a theory of the different states of the nervous system. This is like people would sit in a circle, and then people can go there and explore different sectors. For example, this is the sector of relaxation, and this is the sector of okay, I feel at ease, yeah.
Okay.
And there's some
Okay.
activity coming, and there is anger, yeah. and this is like, I collapse, yeah. And by coincidence, I came back to Bavaria, like very close to the place I lived before, yeah. Because this project was just starting when I came back to Europe, and it felt like my intuition said, okay, I'm at the right place, yeah. Yeah, that was good. Viva! Viva!
Utopia. Discovering dreams that are reality.